Hi, Joyce Barton here, and thanks for joining me. I'm on my way right now to an interview with Dr. Frank Ervolino from Soulville in Stuart, Florida. And I'm really excited about this interview and looking forward to what he has to share with us. So stay tuned to what we have to bring you. All right, well, Dr. Ervolino, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your facility here today. It's a beautiful place. I just felt so at peace and serene walking in, and I appreciate what you're trying to do here, what you are doing here at Soulville. And so if you would maybe just tell our viewers a little bit about your mission here at Soulville.
I'd be happy to, Joyce. First of all, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to talking to you today. What we do at Soulville is we try to help people reach their own personal goals in life. Many people can find success in business, they can find success in family, but sometimes there's a hidden obstacle to them actually finding their higher level, whether it's personal satisfaction, spiritual, maybe business success. And many people will try and find a solution themselves and continually run into the same obstacle. And so what we do at Soulville is help people reach their higher level. And we have a clinic here that's Treasure Coast Community Acupuncture. It's a low-cost community acupuncture clinic, and if a person has a bad neck, a bad shoulder, a bad back, they can't sleep, they've got anxiety, gynecological problems, they can come for a very low fee, $20 to $40 a treatment, and get some immediate attention to that. If in the relationship we find out that there's some deeper problems, some obstacles, we can refer them over to the more spiritual, mental, emotional side of Soulville, which is a collection of incredible psychologists and therapists that have a drama therapy program, art therapy programs, writing programs, one-on-one consultation, and vice versa. They will, if they've got a client that might have some problems that are holding them back, that might be of a more physical nature, or they want to reduce some sort of a mental emotional stress like anger or anxiety, they'll send them to the other side.
Okay.
So we were two separate groups, and 3 years ago these two separate groups got together to form Soulville.
Wonderful. So it's all about balance.
All about balance.
Okay.
You got that right.
Yeah.
And we use a lot of Chinese medicine, which talks about the balance of yin and yang, the balance of the 5 elements, the 4 seasons.
Right.
And then over here on the more psychological side of Soulville, they try and show people how to cope with certain coping skills, so
stresses.
They can achieve a sense of balance. So you nail it.
Yeah. And so when we talk about balance too, of course there's balance within the body too that is connected in the holistic approach of finding that balance.
Yes, I mean it goes from how much sleep you get, how much exercise you get, what you're putting in your mouth, how you're nourishing yourself, your skills for coping with stress, for dealing with anger.
Yeah.
So we try to help people by giving them information. We have resources, we have supplements, we have acupuncture, we have programs, but we also try and just educate the person. In my side of the clinic, I want a person to learn enough information to be able to take care of their own problems rather than relying on us.
That's right. And again, it's balance, but that begins with awareness. You need to be aware of the things that you need to do for yourself.
Sometimes it involves education. So we do a lot of educating.
Right.
So.
And do you talk about nutrition at all here at Soulville, or is it more modality based?
We do talk about nutrition.
Okay.
We don't have a distinct department or practitioner that works with nutrition, but we try and educate people, get them towards resources.
Okay, good.
And they can learn more about how to nurture themselves and how to feed themselves. Sometimes people come in here and they might have what they think is a health food drink or something.
Right.
We show them it's got as much sugar as a Coca-Cola. Or we see somebody who's taking too much caffeine or We've got people that come in that have some very severe autoimmune problems and everything. We'll point out to them that there are research articles that show that gluten sensitivity can contribute to autoimmune.
Yes, so very important. Yeah. You know, people are leaning more in that direction of trying to make better choices, and they're still not sure, or they believe that they're making the right choice when they're really not. So I applaud you for bringing that awareness to them. And
well, there's a lot of misinformation.
There's a lot of misinformation
on the internet.
Yes.
You know, one of the things I do is sometimes get on the computer and show a person how I can, like for gluten sensitivity, how I can find quite a bit that supports gluten sensitivity, and then I can go in and find quite a bit that says it's not even an issue worth looking at.
Yes, there's conflicting information.
Right. So you have to, when I was in medical school, they taught us that MRIs and lab tests are not definitive diagnoses. You have to have a good patient history.
Very true.
And the same goes for information. If you want to find out if something's true, try it. See how it goes.
Reacts to your body.
Like for a gluten sensitivity, I'll tell people, just give me a month off, and then go eat a big loaf of bread and see how you feel.
See what happens, yeah.
So once they find out for themselves, I tell them, you know, the internet is useless. Usually
true.
Information.
And sometimes people just don't know what they don't know until they do exactly what you're suggesting,
Trial
is to give it
and
a try.
Yeah, and get a little medical history of yourself.
Right.
So people will come in all the time and say, I have a sore throat, and I'll point out to them that they have nasal drip. And so they have a sore throat. They're not necessarily sick.
You need to understand why.
Why that could happen. And there are things, there are people that are placing too much emphasis on a pharmaceutical solving their problem.
Yes.
You know, I wait till they're ready to really learn about it.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it saddens my heart to see people turn so quickly to pharmaceutical
or surgery.
Or surgeries.
It's sort of like a bet on the craps table on Vegas.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
We wait until people are ready to learn. If somebody comes into Soulville or Treasure Coast Community Acupuncture and they're saying, well, I want to try this, but I'm sort of doing this too, I'll say, well, why don't you try the pharmaceutical for a little while? And then if you're ready, you come back, and when you're ready to learn, we'll teach you.
Okay, right. Well, it seems we have similar interests and similar passions with helping people come into that awareness and finding balance in their life for a better life and living it up fully. So
that's sort of the true mark of a healer.
Yes.
Is to have that desire.
Yeah.
And I have colleagues sometimes that stray from that desire. They're more product driven.
Yeah.
Something like that. I have my clinic here. I had a clinic in the hospital down south that we charged pretty stiff rates for a visit, and there were some people that could afford to come and some that couldn't. One of the luxuries I have of this clinic is everyone can afford it.
Oh, I love that. I think that's beautiful that you have a range. So pay what you're comfortable with. Am I saying that right?
Pay on a sliding scale what you can. And we've had some, for example, we have some older women who have had some adverse health events like breast cancer or something.
Yes.
And they can't even pay their bills. And then we tell them, you just come in and we'll just treat you for free.
Yeah.
And they might sit next to some multi-millionaire who is sitting there in an old t-shirt with holes in it. That's when I get a sort of a nice feeling that we're actually got a place where everyone can come and get treated equally.
That's great. Well, I appreciate your time, Dr. Ervolino, so much, and allowing me again to come in and visit your facility and get to know you a little better.
Well, thanks, Joyce. It was a pleasure talking to you.